The Ultimate Edition Bubba is shorter than the ECW 2-pack Elite Bubba. There, that's the whole video. We're done now. Looks like Devon's even a tiny bit shorter too. So that solves a few problems from the ECW style set. But of course, as always, there's some pretty terrible paint miss spots here on the default Devon head. Luckily, the alternate heads are like actually a lot better looking and just kind of better expressions anyway, so I probably would end up choosing one of these anyway. At least maybe just the teeth one, if not the full like crazy yell for it. I mean, this head's pretty much useless because it's got a giant black smear down the side. He's got his tattoos on the arm. Printed logo from when they finally got their WWF attires here. That blue camo that they ended up using in the TLC at Wrestlemania 2000. So no more ECW style tie-dye. The 3D boots. And again, these are Elite, so a little bit better motion and everything, so you can probably do a lot more posing with tables and maybe a few ladders and possibly even a few chairs, if you know what I mean. But otherwise, this was the time period I really wanted, even though it is 2000 instead of like 90s. I feel like this was still some Attitude Era action going on. Especially being their default attire in the WWF No Mercy game. Finally getting the Dudley Boyz in that. Bubba, however, has a printed like cloth shirt. So it has the logo, but it's different. So there's a bit of a weird bit there where if they were going to do the cloth shirt with Bubba, maybe they should have done a cloth shirt for Devon. But that's what they did with the other pack too. Bubba got the soft goods. This is Velcroed in the front. Oh, and you can see the rippling muscles underneath. Don't pop your collar there, Bubba. We got kind of angry stare for him here, but just note the eyes, how wide they are, like, you know, a crazy stare like Bubba would do. We have the two alternate heads. And obviously the tongue out one is pretty great for him doing the what's up. Kinda dumb that Devon doesn't have a matching one to do that together with. Especially since Devon was kind of the main like one doing the move, the jumping headbutt. But I'm looking at the other head here. And he's just like, I guess this is supposed to be the blank stare after he puts someone through a table, but he had the very wide eyes when he would do that, I thought. I didn't think he looked totally like sleepy. This looks like smoothing filter Bubba Ray Dudley, where he's trying to look like, I don't know, Mr. Smooth Face Handsome here or something. I'm just not sure what this one's supposed to be. It just looks dumb. Look how the crazy eye, if you would have had like the very blank, like the mouth here on this one is like, and there's a little bit furrowed brow here, like if you would have done the wide eyes but like this like blank, it would have been pretty cool. But as is, I'm not wildly impressed with it. Also, the two alternate heads have like very like hair kind of like molding to them. And this one has like a smoother like buzz kind of thing, so I feel like this should have been more like what all of them were, but they kind of changed the hair a little bit. Strange choices. But no wacky knee pads like blocking any movement on these, and then since they're ultimate, you can do a lot of crazy motion with them. With alternate hands, we don't get the 3D like signal hand. They've decided that that's just not cool on anything at all, I guess, so we can't have that. So thanks for all the fools with that one. But there's certainly other poses you could be doing with them. It has the flat hand for Devon doing his like little like last rites kind of motion thing, or even just open hands so they can be lifting into like a 3D pose. The glasses are snug, but again, the more you use these accessories, just the more they wear out and the more likely they are to fall off. So switching it around on all these heads a lot is just going to wear them out, make them fall off the figures. They are some of the best fitting ones that don't have like the special like slot in the head where they kind of lock in place. They still fit pretty good just sitting on their head. But this was mostly the appearance that I really wanted anyway. But we're kind of missing exact like Edge and Christian and Hardy's even to go with them exactly. There's different sets of all them, but I feel like there's not really a solid crossover time period to exactly match these Dudley Boyz, which is pretty weird because that's one of like maybe the top rated matches of all time in all of WrestleMania history. It's probably any TLC match with those three teams. But I know the other two teams, you know, jumped in and out of the company company, so maybe they disrupted some of the figure releases. Still, that should have been one of the top choices to release them as. Just like these, they finally got the Dudleys back, and thank God they made this attire. This is what I always think of when I think of the Dudley Boyz, because it's their default kind of attire in their first WWF game. But they were pretty quick to get other camo things. It's just, I don't know, there's something iconic about the blue for them. They kind of made that their own. For some reason, my versions did not come with any tables. How do you have an Ultimate Edition of the Dudley Boyz and they don't come with a table? The Elite 2-pack came with tables. In fact, they came with 2 tables, which was overkill, really. We get the WWF Tag Team titles, but these have been coming with like every single pack of figures for a long time now. I feel like I'm like missing out on some other belts. Just keep getting tag title sets. They're nice, and they cover a lot of teams and stuff, so it's kind of cool to give them to all your favorite teams that were Tag Team Champion. But I really wanted like a wood, you know, the normal style table, because those other ones were black tables with the other ECW one anyway. So where's just like plain like brown wood grain cheapo tables that they used all the time? Not to be found. Not particularly ultimate in my opinion. I understand it has a couple extra joints, but does that really make the figure ultimate if it has the extra joint parts? That's the whole thing. That's the Ultimate Edition, is it has an extra joint. Don't worry about the accessories. Comes with a couple heads and you're welcome. So, okay. Maybe one of them could have came with a table and the other could have came with like maybe a little ladder and a chair and you could have had all 3. That would have been kind of nice. Didn't even need tag team belts because they were mostly known for the tables. So, I guess this was just the cheapest, easiest thing they could put with it is the tag titles. And that's pretty much it.